Hello and welcome to the Shop Titan Essential Guide to Update 22. Today we'll be taking a look at the new Storm Elemental Worker and the two item lines that she introduces, as well as her ability, and the new content pass that is coming alongside her as well. As always with our video guides, there is a text version of this one. You can find the link in the description below. With that said, let's get started. So this is the main feature of 22, the Storm Elemental. She costs $24.99, which makes her the second most expensive paid worker. Only the engineer is more expensive. And she comes with a new weapon line, a new accessory line, and unique ability. Now the text there on her ability is wrong. It's actually once per 8 hours, not once per day. This should be changed on the live server, like the text should be corrected there. It's just, this is the downside of a preview server. Sometimes if they make a change, what we see now isn't what we're going to see whenever this patch rolls out next week. So let's take a look at her item lines first. So we'll start with the catalyst line. So if you bring up the crafting menu, you notice we've got a little button now because there's that many weapon lines. Although it's not a problem on desktop displays, on mobile displays, it was getting a bit silly. You can also see there's no real pairing for resources here, although it slightly favours steel. You can see we've got like Herbie for Steely for Iron Steel, Herb, Ironwood, Herb, Jewel and stuff. It's not, there's not like most lines have a primary and secondary one. With Catalyst, just like we'll go whatever we feel like. So if we bring one up to have a look at, the craft time looks long because this is without advanced research or the guild boost running. I'm using just Winged to reach the level requirements to craft these items. The thing about a PvP server, when there's only like 3 or 4 of you can invest in the building, you can't exactly get it very high. Nothing unusual here, like nothing unexpected. Attack wise, we're looking at stronger than wands but weaker than instruments. So they're filling a sort of mid gap, like for the casters who didn't get access to instruments, most of them now have access to catalysts. Clerics don't. Clerics still get the short end of the stick because Kabam hates them for some reason. And they all have a unique animation in battle, which we shall go have a look at. Let's very quickly set one up. Just realised I actually forgot to set the quest up, so we'll do it together on the fly. She has one, he has one, and he has one. Doesn't matter, these gems don't mean anything. Yeah, it's thrilling gameplay, isn't it? Like $24.99 well spent watching these animations. I'm gonna hit skip now before we all die of boredom. There you go. If you're the kind of person who watches the combat, I'm sure you'll enjoy them. But just saying, for me personally, I don't really care. And this is where the Storm Elemental set up shop, just north of the lumberyard, west of the tavern and the wood workshop. Fancy building. Now, idols are the accessory lines she's introduced with her. They are much more exciting to talk about. So again, we've got a button here because there's too many item lines. Now, all idols are dual stat, they're all defense and HP. And as you can see, they've also got a primary secondary pairing. They tend to favour wood and ironwood. Nothing unusual, like milestone wise. So that's actually a pretty good amount of defense and health. Like that is quite a nice quick survivability boost. And they all have this ability where any spirit on them has its effects doubled. It doesn't double the stats the spirit gives, it just doubles the effect of the spirit. We can show that now, so we're going to our inventory. Let's find an idol quickly. So you see when you try to enchant one with a spirit, you get this nice little X2 symbol. So if I try to put, say, Griffin Spirit on it, it's plus 16% defense and plus 6% evasion. If we try to put Titan on it, plus 30% HP. We put the Ancestor Spirit on it, minus 20% reduced energy surcharge cost. All quite nice stuff. So these will actually have a much more exciting place in the meta compared to Catalyst. Where Catalyst will be used too, but they're just not. There's nothing special about them. Nothing that we haven't already seen before. At least here we've got something new and exciting to play around with, and there's a long list of classes that can wear these these idols, more than I care to read out. I can't show you what slot they go on each of those classes because that is something that has been changed between what you're seeing now and what goes live next week, because we provided some feedback during it saying, look, this class really should have access to this one. This class has got it in the wrong slot, because there is a couple where, so the problem with, so we're going to refer to the Druid Quiver problem, as it's called, and that is you don't use quivers on a Druid ever, even if you have Marksman, because the quiver slot shares the spell slot, and spells are just far too important to trade off for a quiver. Like, you lose so much damage doing so. And it was a similar case here with a couple of the classes that can wear them. They were having to give up very powerful slots that you really wouldn't ever give up for like a small defensive item. It would make like no sense whatsoever. You'd just be hurting yourself. So that's those taken care of. So we'll now talk about her ability. So when you buy Zephy, you'll get a new piece of furniture. Just bring up a second. You see it here, the altar. Quite small. You can place it in the basement, but if you want to use its ability, it has to be in your shop. There's two parts to the ability. There's the passive, she gives 5% max energy. That doesn't matter where it is. You can put that in the basement. If all you want is the max energy, fine, not a problem. If you want to use the customer speed boost, though, it has to be in your shop as well, so you can push the button. As is said, very small, fits in pretty much anywhere. It does take up a rack slot, so you will have to trade off something, but for 5% max energy boost, I mean, it's not that bad, is it? Game doesn't have any inventory space. It can't be upgraded or anything. That's literally, it's just one level. As for what it does when you hit activate, well, best ways to show. So let me just quickly clear this counter. Go on then, off you go. Get out. Okay, so let's see how quickly we can refill the shop once we push it. You can see it's got a little fancy animation, and if you click on it, it has a timer ticking down showing how long's left on your buff. Now, I would show you that here, but the timer that you would see here is not going to be accurate because that's again something that is being changed between now and live. So you can see they're starting to come in already, and this is nighttime when customer flow is usually reduced. They have this nice little wind trail effect to indicate they're moving faster. On the live build, they will move even faster than what you're seeing now because it's been buffed further. It's basically a ×3 multiplier to your customer flow. So if you were getting on average, say 4 customers a minute before, you should now be getting 12 customers a minute instead. So for the next 15 minutes, you're going to have a shop that's pretty full of customers. It can go over its usual capacity. So normally a shop can only hold like 13 customers before they stop coming. With the buff running, that's increased further. I'm not sure the exact maximum amount you can have there. However, it doesn't increase the counter size. Like, the counter can still only hold 12 of them at once before it goes oi. There's no space at the counter. But it is quite a nice effect. So from what I can tell, it's been rebalanced 3 times so far, so they may even rebalance it again once more. It would be nice if it was changed to a charge-based system rather than a cooldown-based system. So if you got like 3 charges, you could fire them every day or something, rather than having to wait 8 hours in between. You can use it during events, so obviously better deals on Haggle. The main 2 will be really cool during. It also works during Customer Frenzy as well, when it should make them go at ×4 speed instead of ×3. I've not had a chance to test that firsthand. I'm just telling you what Kabam have told me. So if it turns out to not be true, take it up with them. Specifically, take it up with Kabam Richard. I mean, he asked the developers because he's like the intermediary, but you can still blame him. So that covers the worker. Let's take a look at her content pass. I've left the tasks unclaimed, but if you want a cleaner shop, take a look at the written guide. For the superior ones, if you didn't know, just craft like tier 1 items, it goes really quick. We haven't got anything that we're not used to seeing here. Although it requires you to craft idols to complete it if you want the title, you probably confuse them instead and still get excuse encounters crafting for these kind of tasks. Not 100% certain it should work for this, but like 99.9% sure it should work. The King's Priest one requires you to score 320k, which isn't too bad. And if we take a look at the rewards, so we've got 2 new blueprints. We've got a low tier crit bow. See here, 5% crit. Some nice cosmetic looking things on the line. At least I think so. I'm looking forward to trying out this wallpaper flooring combo. Got bloody sigils here because apparently I don't know why they still give away sigils. And the maximum reward is a higher tier evasion amulet. I know, don't get too excited. That about covers everything except one other thing I want to touch on in the menu now. There's now a web store button at the bottom you can see here. Now every Thursday at reset, that's going to get a little exclamation mark like the piggy bank does. And that's just to remind you there's a weekly giveaway to claim. You don't have to rely on Discord pinging you anymore. You can just wait for the game to tell you instead, which is quite cool, I think. Anyways, that about covers it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.